I'm gonna harken back to Allie's choice of Bob Grenier and what Al was saying about programmatic language and his statement, I hate speech, and pick one of my personal touchstones, Susan Howe, and my Emily Dickinson, in which she says, whose order is shut inside the structure of a sentence, which I think is a rubric for all of language poetry and all the poems we encounter this week.
Lovely, fantastic. Can you read the quote again? It's just a sentence.
Whose order is shut inside the structure of a sentence?
And she has an answer in mind. Do you want to? We're not going to be able to talk at length about it, but do you want to get started on what you think Susan Howe's answer to the question is?
Well, she talks a lot about patriarchy being behind our normative grammatical language. And it makes me think just now of Harriet Mullen's, what's the lit poem? The name of it?
Any lit?
Right. And you are the blank to my blank as kind of a not a pat phrase, but a known common phrase in the manner of blank is the new blank, and how her insertion of arbitrary words from the dictionary that come in a particular, right, alphabetical order sort of answers Howe's question there.
Yes. So many of these poets are thinking, what has the dictionary done to us? Or rather, what has the language as organized done to us? And therefore, going back to the dictionary is a bit of a refuge, scrambling things, creating counter-socializations. It's everywhere in this week. This is a really important week for us. It's the point at which the generation we think of as the 60s generation starts to mature intellectually and combine what they learned from modernism with what the new left taught them didn't work about the old left. That's my sort of historical formulation. And then in the 70s and 80s, early 80s, the language poets came to apply what might be thought of as a kind of protest-based Marxism to language, to all the traps and all the imprisonments and all of the harsh socializations. And they all developed this plan very differently, but that's the origin of it. And it's a really interesting thing to study, and it's an interesting thing for people of our generation or the people who are talking today. Think about, it's very easy to say, oh, language, it happened. But it was fundamental divergence.